Well, welcome back to the Palms Up Show. How's it going? How's it going, everybody? We're going to start off with slight echo. We'll get it straightened out, but we are live. How's everybody going this evening? Will you unmute and greet us? Palms up.
Fantastic.
All righty. There he is. My goodness. We've been working ourselves raggedy trying to make sure that we can prepare for you. We never know what this technology is going to do. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Palms Up Show. Another week, another episode of some wonderful information. You know, it's your girl, Palms Up. We are welcoming this week my dear mentor, the executive goal, CEO of Sound Money. Look, I'm messing it all up because I'm all nervous, so you got to give me a minute. Come on, Sound Wealth Nation. Lord, y'all forgive me. I don't get too choked up with too many people, but I certainly am tonight. Let's start that over. This is my mentor, former NFL tight end for the Cleveland Browns, Mr. Ron Austin, who's also the CEO for Sound Wealth Nation, the 7K executive goal, and he's taking time out of his schedule to come and bring some knowledge, because you guys know your girl always wants to bring you the word. And before we turn this platform over and blow this spot up, as we say, we're going to ask you guys to do what you do every week for us and share this feed. Tonight's show is worth taking an hour out. You guys won't leave this platform without being knowledgeable. And I don't want to hear anybody else talking about they need a job or they need $1 or $2. After tonight, you're going to have the tools you need forward. And you need to be blowing this phone up if you know what I know, palms up. Hey, sis, before we bring in our dear mentor, Mr. Austin, and I go figure out what's going on with this echo, why don't you greet Mr. Austin, our audience, and give us your word for this week? And when I come back, we're going to go ahead and get this thing started.
Good afternoon. Well, excuse me. Good evening, everyone, and those on the East Coast, West Coast. Good afternoon, and welcome, Brother Ron Austin. It's a pleasure to meet you. And to everyone, this week's word is security. And when I say security, I really want you to think about that word. That's a very powerful word. It's more than just protection, with security, but how secure are you in your life, physically, mentally, and spiritually? What type of people are you surrounded by? Who is speaking into your life? How do you think about?
You're muted. You're muted, Rhonda. You're muted. Yep, you're muted.
Okay, the word. Y'all know I come unscripted. The word for this week is security. And when I say security, I'm not talking about security of police or anything. I'm talking about security for yourself and really being secure with yourself and who you're surrounding yourself with. And let's stop getting into the stress mode and anxiety and self-doubt. We need to power ourselves personally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. We need to be mindful of the people that speak into our life and surround our life. And we need to also work on our home life. I'm going to keep it 100. Every week we are getting calls about different things that are going on in our households. And we need to really work on that. Because it's becoming just really crazy. Some of the violence and everything that's going on. And when I talk to a lot of people, they battle with security or being secure, self-doubt, feeling that they're not worth anything, always torn down by government officials. And when they go for help, there's nothing there. They get to run around. But I'm here to tell y'all tonight, y'all in for a treat. I need you to open up your ears, your mind, and your spirit and receive. As a community, it's time for us to really come together. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a struggle to get there. But I'm telling you, if we walk this thing together, you'll see the outcome, and I promise you that security will come in more than one way. I turn it back over to Dr. Rhonda Hamilton.
All right, guys, all right, it's your girl. We got this echo bothering us. We've been having these echoes and these technical issues. I'm gonna keep working on them in the meantime. I'm asking you guys to pay attention this evening because there is a wonderful message this evening. I want you to know, would you please cut that off? I want you guys to know that Mr. Austin is an executive goal and a wealth strategist. 7K Wealth is the vehicle that I've chosen to help with the goals that we have to help save the community. Capital City Emergency Level 2 Trauma and Wellness Center will be a reality because of this financial tool. And without any further ado, Mr. Austin, I'm gonna turn the platform over to you. I would love if you would help us understand, obviously, your history, how it is that you came to be an executive gold in 7K. And then also help us deal with the elephant in the room. Because as soon as they hear network marketing, you know how our people do. Our folks who don't have $400 should an emergency arise. You know how our folks do that don't want to work for anything. Got a lot of opinions about everything, but don't know anything about gold and silver. And if they do, they're not sharing it with the masses. Welcome, sir, to the platform, and palms up to you. And before you go forward, you should know that palms up is our version of just throwing our hands up and letting God know that to him all glory belongs. Throwing our hands up to give favor and show that we can help one another. Throwing our hands up to humble and yield to the understanding of knowledge and the need for growth. So palms up to you, brother, and thank you for coming to the platform.
Well, I thank you for having me. First and foremost, I appreciate you guys letting me share a little bit of what I've learned. If you look back at my history, you probably say, man, this dude is not the guy we want on one of our platforms, but trial and error, perseverance, knowing what I want out of life allowed me to do that, right? James 4:2 says, you have not because you ask not, right? A lot of the times, because of the way we've been programmed, right? We've been programmed to believe that money is not good. We've been believing for years that if you went to school, got a degree and got a job, then you're successful. Well, I was blessed along the way. We grew up in the city of Detroit. My mother was going through it. I don't know if y'all understood what the word going through it is. My mother was going through it. She was going through a divorce, and we went to school 3 out of them 5 days. That was a good week. But I remember an NFL player, Charlie Sanders, coming to me one day and said, hey son, if you don't go to school, you can't play football. And I think everything in life happens for a reason, be it a reason, a season, or a lifetime, but it happens, right? And Charlie came into my life, and I promised him that day that I would never, ever miss another day of school again. And I didn't. Perfect attendance from the 5th grade all the way through high school. Now, I ain't gonna tell you I had straight A's, but I had perfect attendance, right? Found myself playing football for the University of Michigan, and then stepping into the pro rankings with the Browns. And I often tell people that I had a very valuable lesson. The people who made it that far always had the same drive, and that was to be successful. And that's one of the things that most of us don't do, is the willingness to sacrifice in order for you to get something. And short of that, I wasn't a valedictorian. I never believed in going to school, get a degree, and get a job. I just never was one of those people. I was one of those people who believed that a hard day's work and hard day's pay, right? So I had the opportunity to meet a gentleman by the name of Art Modell, who was the owner of the Cleveland Browns. And I asked him a question: what do the wealthy do? I want to be wealthy. I don't want to just make money. I want to be wealthy. And what do the wealthy do? And he said, the wealthy people stop making ads. Stop making ads. And I said, well, what does that mean? They said, stop trading time for money. Make your money work for you and add value to as many people as you can. So that stuck in my head. I opened up a pizzeria, 4 of them, matter of fact, here in Michigan. Found myself getting in corporate America, which I dreaded because I did not want to work for anyone. I didn't think anybody could pay me what I was worth. And then a good friend of mine who was in pharmaceutical sales with me approached me about a company called Melaleuca back in 2002. And all I remember was him telling me that he was making $13,000 a month. Now, I don't know what you guys felt, but I knew that if I could make $13,000 a month and be able to raise my kids, not just financially, be there for them, and I'm on to something. So with $13,000 in Melaleuca, all I asked him the question was, how did you do it? I know a lot of you guys are probably saying network marketing is a scam, but let's clear that air. A lot of the time when people say network marketing, I always ask the question, what is it? They say, what's like a Ponzi scheme? And I said, well, what's a Ponzi scheme? It's like a pyramid scheme. Well, what's a pyramid scheme? You know, that's when a person gets in at the top. He makes all the money. And then everybody gets in underneath them and they don't get paid as much, but they work harder than he does. Then I asked him the question again. I said, explain that to me again. And then after the second time, I said, that don't sound like a scam. That sounds like a 9-to-5. That sounds like the 40-40 plan. That sounds like you're going to work for 40 hours a week for 40 years to retire to 40% of your pay. And listen, I'm not downing job. I'm just up on opportunity. See, in network marketing, what I saw people who can make any amount of money that they choose to make in that industry by just simply understanding. And that's the biggest part of it, is when they get into a network marketing business, most people get into a network marketing business because of a product. Not myself. I got into a network marketing business to take care of my family. And as well, I needed to know what network marketing was. So in 8 years with Melaleuca, we made $3.2 million. And I'm not bragging about the money. I'm bragging about the time that I spent with my family. I met a gentleman who was making $1.2 million a month. And I asked him the question, how did you do it? If I'm looking for a network marketing company, what do I look for? I know that network marketing has produced more millionaires than any industry in the world. See, that's the reason why most of us, because we have not, because we ask not. You asked for a job. You asked to take care of your bills. You didn't say push down, press down, runneth over. You didn't say that. You said, let me take care of my bills. And so what I believe in my spiritual walks is whatever come out of your mouth is what you get. And a lot of the times what we do is we speak it into truth. So when you sit there and say, I just want a job, that's what you're going to get, just a job. A lot of the times when I ask people, do they like their jobs? They say yes. And then I say, why do you do it? And a lot of them say, because it's my passion. A lot of them say, because that's what my degree was in. I went to school to become a school. No, you didn't. What you went to school for was because somebody told you the success factor was to go to school, get a degree, and get a job. They didn't say go to school, get a degree, and be financially independent. They didn't say go to school, get a degree, and own your own business. They did not say go to school, get a degree, and leave a legacy to your family. We were told to go to school, get a degree, and get a job. That remedy don't work, y'all. Right? So I'm the kind of guy that believes 1 + 1 is 2. If you told me 1 + 1 is 3, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to walk away. I don't know anybody today, and this answer my question and your question. I don't know anyone today who works a 9-to-5 and is wealthy. And I know a lot of y'all probably gonna sit there and say, well, my cousin, he's wealthy because he may own his own business, but he don't work a 9-to-5. Nobody's paying him a check. So a lot of the times we don't understand about business. Business is find the problem, create the solution. We were never taught business. Network marketing is business. Bottom line, large organizations. It was once said that I would rather get paid 1% of 100 people than 100% of my own efforts. Business. So when I looked at network marketing, I knew that I could make some money in network marketing because I knew that I could stop making add value. How do I add value? I was been taught. So I needed to find a network marketing business that was going to be around for a long time, because if I can make $40,000 a month for the rest of my life, that's what you call generational wealth. And in this business, I looked at the compensation plans. I studied the compensation plan. Can it be done? Well, Melaleuca started in 1985. It's still around today. It does over $6 billion. Well, the original owner of Melaleuca, his name was Roger Ball. And Roger Ball is a billionaire 10 times over. When I say that, I'm honestly telling you, he's a billionaire 10 times over. He makes 51% of that $6 billion every year. He owns the largest bison farms in the country. He owns the largest beef jerky plants in the country. He owns 73 hotels. He made his mother a millionaire. He made his brother a billionaire. His grandkids are billionaires based upon him teaching business, not network marketing, business. He used the money from network marketing to change it into a traditional business. But he had a roadmap. But what he realized was that if that dollar, which it is going to happen, y'all. I mean, right now they voting on this thing called a debt ceiling, and most of us don't even pay attention to what the debt ceiling is talking about.
That's right.
I mean, and then when people talk to me about gold and silver, it blows my mind because let me tell you all about my neighbor. My neighbor is Russian, older guy. He's about 80 years old. He's been in the United States for the last 40 years. I can't understand a word that guy say, but everything I say to him, he understands. Now, listen to what I'm saying. That's how your brain works. Your brain only picks up on what it wants to know, what you try to change it to do. We don't think about network marketing or business. All we think about is, I got to go to work tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
We don't pay attention to what people just throw out on the table, the debt ceiling. They don't talk about what China's trying to do with their dollar. They want their dollar to be the world currency. And right now it is. Now we're talking about Fed coin and all this other stuff that's happening right under our nose. Don't take my word for it. Watch June 1st. June 1st, you write it on your calendar. You're going to see what I'm talking about. Right now, we're talking about the debt ceiling. That means this: how much money is the government going to allow us to print so that we can buy our way out of debt or print our way out of debt? All it does is devalue the dollar. So that means that when that dollar go to zero, and it's going to go to zero, then all that paper money that you have is going to be worth nothing. And here's the funny thing about it. We the only ones that don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
They know it. When people come to me and say, well, Ron, how much money or what do I have to buy every month in order for me to be a part of that business? And I simply tell them, you don't buy gold and silver, you transfer your money to gold and silver. Gold and silver is money, people. Get that through our heads, it's money. So if I buy a coin, that's money. If I ever need it, it's money. We think of it as traditional network marketing. We go out here, we buy a pill, potion, lotion. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking real life. Because if that dollar go to zero, us people who look like me and you are going to put ourselves right back into slavery because we don't own any. We're going to talk about real estate. They're going to take that away from me because that's not going to be worth anything because there's nothing to base it on. I got people who are doctors and physicians who sit there and tell me today that the dollar is backed by gold. No, it's not. It's been taken off in 1971. The dollar was taken off the gold standard. It's not backed by anything. This is the stuff that's going around, but don't take my word for it. So when I started getting into gold and silver, it's because I said to myself, I need to leave a legacy to my family. If that dollar don't hit zero during the time I'm here, great. But I need to be able to leave something for my family. And here's why I'm gonna say that to you guys. I heard Dr. Rhonda talking about the fact that there's so much hatred and violence in this world today.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at these kids on the street who pull out guns and shoot each other. And then they sit there and say, this happened at 4 o'clock in the morning. This happened at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I remember hearing people who had wisdom telling me, no, you got to be in this house at 1 o'clock. And every person that I know who I hated back in the day, they have some superior understanding with greatness. My father said, get your butt in that house. Ain't nothing good going on out there in that street. If them people were in the house at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, they're not driving down the freeway where somebody can drunk and drive and hit them. They're not there to see somebody pull out a gun and shoot at them. Not to say that you don't have some fools out here to do stuff, but I'm saying you got to. But if my grandkids knew that their grandfather had millions of dollars worth of gold and silver, and all they had to do was do the basic, that's theirs, I bet you they won't be out in that street. So my thought process of it is that, you know, Dr. Rhonda has her passion to do some things in this world. And my passion is to educate people so that people can make educated decisions about what they want out of life.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is not, should I pay my cable bill or my gas bill?
Come on now.
One of them shouldn't be the fact, should I pay my car note or my rent? Not mortgage, but my rent. The whole point to life is making decisions in the mountains, not in the valley. A lot of the times when we're making decisions in our life, people, we're behind the 8 ball. We don't have a clue. So we're taking the first thing smoking.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna work my way up from the fries all the way up to the counter. I'm not taking no job at Wendy's.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start teaching people John, James 4 and 2. You have not because you ask not. You have not because you ask not. But the problem of it is this. What are you asking for? Are you asking just to get by?
Mm-hmm.
See, a lot of the times when we pray, we're not praying to say it's a done deal.
Right.
Prayer and question marks don't go together. So when I looked at network marketing, I didn't look at network marketing as what everybody think it is. I looked at the fact that I knew I could build a large organization because I can study and teach people how to build large organizations. So I came up with something that Dr. Rhonda couldn't say, Sound Wealth Nation. Right? Sound wealth, sound money. Right? Sound Wealth Nation is sound money nation, pretty much. Let your life speak volumes. When I talk about let your life speak volumes, that's exactly what it says. Let your life, go get your life. And I teach that all the time. Go get your life. So whatever the question is what do you want out of life? What kind of car do you want to drive? What kind of house you want to live in? What zip code do you want to live? It's okay to dream, because sometimes dreams become goals, which becomes reality. But you can't speak it if you don't understand James 4 and 2, which said, you have not because you ask not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When you start saying to yourself, this is what I want, now I just got to go find out how to go get it. I got to find out how to go get it. And that's when I always tell people that God's middle name is all of a sudden. Because when you're moving, you say it all the time, don't you? You know, I was just going to the grocery store. Guess what? All of a sudden I ran into so-and-so and so-and-so, and they gave me a job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was just hoping and praying that I could sell and somebody all of a sudden came and, no, that ain't no all of a sudden, that's God. But faith without works is dead if you're not working it. And now you all probably sitting there saying, well, Ryan, what the heck does that have to do with gold and silver? Because here's my point. You don't buy gold and silver.
That's right.
You transfer money to it. Now, if you only got $400, guess that means that you can only buy $400 worth of gold. In network marketing, my goal is to help people make that $3,500 a week, so that now they can say, hey, listen, I can live a great life with 10,000, and I'm gonna put this other 4,000 in the bank. No. Who taught you to put your money in the bank?
Mm-hmm.
You put your money in the bank, you're only getting paid 0.001% off that money. You put that money into gold, you're looking at 15%. You put it into silver, it's 11%. And it's not something that's fictitious. It's in your hand. Gold has never gone down. Mark my words, June 1st, watch what I'm telling you. Right now, silver is probably close to $40 an ounce. June 1st, right around the corner. I guarantee you silver will go up to at least $80. But people, in order for you to understand that, you have to understand silver and gold. So we have a system with 7K Metals called our Sound Money Wallet.
Mr. Austin, I want to stop you for a minute because I just want to talk to them for a minute and qualify what you've been saying. You know, for many of them, would you please put your phone down? For many of them, I'm sorry, we're having so many technical problems. For many of them, this is over their head, right? Because when we talk gold and silver, I don't know that many of them realize, Mr. Austin, that there's an exchange rate that is changing and that is impacting what we call ROI, return on investment. See, I know from owning a real estate company and being a current insurance broker what those words mean. But we have folks around me, Mr. Austin, that have so many people in their network, but because they're closed-minded or because they haven't been educated or enlightened about it, they don't get it. So what I'm concerned about is before they understand the opportunity, I would like you to help me speak directly to these folks like myself, you said, who have these ideals of saving the world. What did you say to me when I said to you that I want to save the world or save my community? Will you talk to us?
The greatest thing that you hear on an airplane, they say in the event of loss of cabin pressure, when that mask fall out that cabin, right? Who they tell you to put it on first?
Yourself. That's right.
Because if you can't help yourself, you can't help nobody. And that's something I learned a long time ago. If you can't help yourself, I know people who sit there and tell me, Ron, I want to help the homeless. And then somebody say, well, you know, they're homeless too, right? How can you help the homeless and you're homeless? Get out of being homeless first, and then you can go help somebody. Get out of debt first, and then you can go help people how to get out of debt. It's hard when we start talking about reality. If somebody is broke and they try to tell me how to become rich,
come on now.
That's not a good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody been married 10 times and they try to tell me about marriage, that's not a good conversation. It's reality, people. We fail because we help ourselves fail. But when there are people out here lending a hand and say, hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you like this. You need to be buying gold and silver. You need to transfer that paper money. If you say to me, Ron, I need to make more money, that's where we come in with 7K Metals, where we can help you make money so that you can transfer that money into gold and silver. Stop listening to what people talk about network marketing is bad. Network marketing has produced more millionaires than any industry in the world. It's not network marketing is bad. It's that people get into silly businesses. Silly businesses. They don't ask the question. They're not looking at business. There are some network marketing companies out here. Amway, been around since Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Mary Kay, been around here since Jesus. Melaleuca, been around here since 1985. Herbalife, there are tons of companies that people became a part of. But then you get one or two people who say, hey, listen, I'm gonna go out here and start this network marketing business. And I'm gonna tell y'all the trick to it all. When somebody tells you all you have to do, All right. If they tell you that, I'm just you got to remember I told you 1 + 1 is 2. If they tell you that all you have to do is put your money in and it's gonna grow by itself. All I'm saying to you is this: the only thing that I've seen in my lifetime that grows and has flowers on it, and you don't have to nurture it, is a what? A weed.
A weed.
So when you get into them businesses that you see all these things that people ain't doing, no, it's a weed. Find a good network marketing. I don't give a care. It may not be 7K Metals. Find a good company, become a part of that company, and grow your business. But if you're that person and sit there saying to yourself, Brian, let's put your cards on the table. I hear people coming to me all the time, Dr. Ron, and say, I need 7 streams of income. Taking pop bottles back to the grocery store is not a stream of income, people.
And Mr. Austin, I want you to get into this. Hey guys, Mr. Girl, it's your girl. Palms up. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. We're talking about wealth building, wealth strategies, and just one-on-one common sense out there. Many of us have goals of saving our communities. Many of us have goals, personal goals. We're talking to former NFL tight end with the Cleveland Browns. And I say that because I want you to know he's been to that state. And even when he came back, he realized the need to have a sound strategy. Guys, I want you to know that it's May 30th, and before we end the Mental Wellness Awareness Month for May, we thought it was important that we covered the financial understanding of wellness. See, we brushed through these 80 centers of wellness. We know them as emotional, environmental, intellectual, occupational, physical, social, and spiritual, and yes, financial. And we're talking to the CEO of the Sound Wealth Nation, Mr. Ron Austin, who is also executive gold with 7K, of which I'm a member. My coins have started to come. I too am being educated and elevated because before I can save the community, I've got to save me and stabilize me. So if you don't pay attention to anything else, you pay attention to the words that are getting ready to come out of Mr. Austin's mouth. Guys, knowledge is power. Palms up. Mr. Austin, would you please help them understand what you've helped me to understand about this wonderful opportunity with 7K?
Well, there's 2 different sides, first and foremost, of gold and silver. Gold and silver, elegantly put, Mrs. Dr. Rhonda. The thing that you got to talk about is this, bullion, and then you talk about numismatic coin. Bullion is this. That's what bullion is. I don't know if y'all can see that coin. It's just a silver dollar. That's what it is. It's a silver dollar. It's just silver. It has not been graded, non-circulated gold and silver. That's what you call the defense. That's where you're buying gold and silver to protect your money. I'm going to say it again. It's to protect your money, right? So in the event that dollar go to zero, you're protecting your money. At one point in time, this coin, right? This coin, silver dollar, it used to be $1. Today, it's close to $40. When I first got into this business, this 100-ounce silver bar, and my kids, and y'all probably call it too, y'all call it a paperweight. This is money. There's 100 ounces of silver. It was $1,500 when I first got into this business 3 years ago. Today it's worth $4,000. So that's money, people. Yeah. If anything ever happened, I always tell people that's like a GoFundMe. I have 2 of those bars. I need to have about 12 of them, but 2 of those bars that if anything ever happened to me, my wife could take that to the bank. Bob Dylan is home. We all have something to lose. There you go. That person over there multitasking. That's what I call a multitask. He ain't listen to a word we talking about. We talking some good stuff over here. But anyway.
Yeah, you're bringing them out, sir. You're bringing them out. Thank you, and thumbs up. Everyone, will you please mute? This is the most important part of the evening. Thank you.
No, I'm just telling the truth. Everybody has a reasoning to do what they do. I put my money in gold and silver because I had to pay attention to it. I don't multitask money. So the coins that you're showing there, Dr. Rhonda, is this, you guys. Those are what you call numismatic coins. Those coins are graded. Two good coin right there, you know. First black person on a coin, right? We made 7K metal, first black person on a coin. That's going to be history. So those coins have been graded. Two major companies that do it is NGC, PCGS. Again, y'all can look them up. NGC, PCGS. They're the #1 and #2 graders in the world. They're not, that's not our company. We just send our coins there to be graded. All right. So now here's a little history. About 2 years ago, NGC sold half of their company for $500 million. Guess who bought it? Jay-Z. Success loves clues, right? Jay-Z owns it. And the reason we talk about it is because when you start looking at where we are financially, he understood. Because now I can take that same coin that she showed, I paid $139 for it. And in a week or two, that coin may go up to $200. I have coins that I paid $139 for today are worth $1,500. But that's what you call collectibles. Those go faster in value. The greatest part about silver and gold is this: you cannot be hurt, people. It's money. If I bought a silver dollar for $40, guess what? I don't give a care what country I go to, this is going to be worth the same amount of money. That's the difference between silver and gold. So the thing that I tell people to do is you need to be owning silver and gold, collectibles and non-collectibles. And again, when it comes down to money, I've always told people from January to May, we help create what we call silvers in our company. It means that they make up to $3,500 a week. We help 13 of those people do it. And we help one person who became gold, and that person makes up to $7,000 a week. Now, we don't sit there and tell you to take your money and go out here and buy a Bentley or a brand new. We tell you to do this. Live off of 10,000 and take the rest of your money and put it into gold and silver. Because when I first got into this business, the pandemic hit, and there was a lady who lost her job. She didn't go out here and put an application in. She sold her gold and silver to do what? To pay her bills. It's money, people. I can't stress this enough. Sometimes I don't like tying the network marketing side to this business because I don't want you guys to miss the point. The point of it is that you need to be owning gold and silver. And it be it that you buy it from us or you buy it from whomever, you need to own gold and silver. Second of all, you need to make more money so that you can transfer that money into gold and silver. That's the bottom line. Now, again, I don't care if you build a business in 7K metals, you need to be buying gold and silver. I have coins that I paid $800 for at 12 o'clock noon. And by 12 o'clock that night, that coin cost $4,000. I'm not trying to tell you it happens every day, but the biggest part about it is if I didn't have the $800, I'm not even in the game. If I needed that $800 to put it on my mortgage, then I'm not even in the game. So nobody can come back to me and say to me, well, Ron, no, you can't do that. Because at my position, I make up, and I'm not bragging about what I make. Incomes may vary. I got to give that disclaimer, but $10,000 a week. So I always go back to saying, if nothing else, if I can make $40,000 a week, a month for the rest of my life, I'm a happy camper. I can bless a whole lot of folks. Because if you've done it, you can teach it. My job is to teach thousands and thousands of people how to make money so that now they can transfer that money into gold and silver. So that you never, ever, ever have to worry about the financial institutions taking your money. We can have a whole nother segment on that. People putting their money in the bank. If that bank ever go bankrupt, and we just had, don't say that it won't. Don't say that it won't, because we just had 2 major banks go bankrupt. And the only reason why them banks are open today is because people, they wrote paper checks to these companies to keep them afloat. In other words, they printed money so that these banks can stay open. But here's my point. If them people put that money in that bank and people were mad about it, but before they paid off that stuff, those people were going to lose their, whatever was in them safe deposit boxes and anything, they were going to lose that. People. That's why I put my money in gold and silver. And I'm going to stop by telling you guys, gold and silver is God's money. Don't take my word for it. Read the word. It doesn't say in the Bible that the paper is mine. Haggai, it says that the gold and silver is mine, said the Lord. That's God's money. It's been here, and it's going to stay here. That's why right now China is bartering to put the gold standard back on their yen. And if they do that, you can kiss that dollar goodbye. So this is what we teach over here. Education. We teach you how to make it so that you can invest it. We don't teach it so that you can go out here and buy a Bentley and all that other stuff. If you get it like that, you got it like that. But we teach you to invest it for generational wealth. So that's my story, and I stick to it, Dr. Rhonda.
And Mr. Austin, you are so wonderful. Thank you. Look, you got so many people on the inside. We normally have so many viewers on the other side. They coming in left and right, and I don't mind receiving them. Guys, I am going to allow you to unmute, but only if I call you by name so we can keep some order palms up. We are live. I just want to make a statement to all our loyal viewers out there and all of you who keep coming up to me and calling me and asking me, how can you support the campaign? Let's be real. You know, here on the Palms Up platform, we always want to keep it real, right, sis?
That's it.
I love my cheerleaders, but I need leaders out there. I need us to be able to shore up. We have some lofty goals. We have a long road ahead of us to take care of our communities. As you heard, the guns are going off. We've got an economic divide where the Caucasian family is making $92,000 on average annually, and the Black family is making $29,000. We got a healthcare system that's lacking the proper mental health resources that are needed. And let's face it, at the core of many of the households that we're called into to help out, they're dealing with social determinants in their communities, guys. They're dealing with lesser health care, lesser housing understanding, slumlord, living in mold. What would their life change? How would it change if they had the economic ability to do so? When will you decide that showing up with just a meal for one day or just an outfit is not enough? How can we help change the living standards of our families if we don't change and educate our own selves? There's nothing wrong with having a job, but if you're just over broke with a job, where's the plan for coming out of that? And when we bring wonderful, intelligent, mindful, and wise folks to the platform that look like you and I, giving it to you straight up, what are you gonna do? What accountabilities will you offer? Because see, I know when I ran for office, one of the things that I recognized, it doesn't matter how passionate I am, doesn't matter how bad I want. If we as a people don't wake up and decide to do something different, and when I say as a people, I mean anyone that doesn't have control over their financial, economic, and understanding. See, it's not okay to be comfortable because we pass that comfort on to our children. I got excited when I saw Frederick Douglass on a silver coin. I got excited when I saw him on there with Abraham Lincoln. I got excited when I got my gold note and my coin from Minnesota, Oklahoma, and Oregon. I got excited when I found out that this is what the wealthy is doing when they build their portfolio. Having been a real estate company owner, I've recognized that there's levels to everything. Just as there are levels to this mental health and the understanding of such, There are levels to how we're living, people. And why is it that we're always the last ones to know? Well, information is free. Mr. Austin and his Found Wealth Nation team has welcomed me into the fold. They do presentations on Mondays and Wednesday nights at 9 to give me opportunities to get folks in front of them. See, my question to you all out there, will you take or make the time to learn something different? I remember being young and going to school and having my classmates have their family give them stock certificates. And I didn't know what that was about. Nobody died and left me any gold or silver. I learned about equity when I got into real estate. The point is, there are many of you out there that are impacting a lot of lives around you, but you're not growing and you're not in a position to help anybody else grow. So tonight's program was about the preventative understanding of the things that we can do to stabilize our 8 essentials of wellness so that we can have choices and options. Mr. Ronald Austin is a very busy man, a very wealthy man, a very humbled man. And I want you guys to know something. I'm pulling out all the strings. I've ran for office. We're out here with this mental health message. We're networking and we're revisiting understandings that we ourselves didn't know about. But this does not have to just be about us. It can be about all of us. So if there's someone that has a question for Mr. Austin or that's curious about learning more, we have a link on our website, healthydcandme.org. You can click the wealth building link. You can become a member. You can look at the videos to find out more. But don't let 8 o'clock come, turn this off and go back to doing the same thing when you know tomorrow you need answers economically. Nothing happens overnight. And this is by far no get rich quick. You saw the photos I posted and sent around the feed. When I'm in the room with millionaires and billionaires, I'm going to take heed. I'm going to humble. Hey, Mr. Austin, before we get out of here, is there anything else that you would like our folks to understand before we leave this evening?
I would say get an understanding. I think the biggest part about what we do is we don't understand. And I guess if everybody took time, and I think it's worth it, you guys, to sit down and just ask, again, you can't go to your CPA because here's the reason. They don't get paid off for telling you to buy gold and silver. So don't go to them and ask them. Research it, I mean, listen, it's all over YouTube. It's all over everywhere. That's what the wealthy are doing. The wealthy are now putting their money into gold and silver. You can't go to your CPA and ask them about gold and silver because they don't want you to know it, because then, right, you're not going to get paid off of that. So I'll be here for the next 5 minutes. I know somebody may have some questions that they need answered real quick, and I'll be glad to help you.
Yes, I'm going to open it up for the last 5 minutes. Hello, palms up to all our loyal folks. Hello, Miss Rachel. Hey, Queen. Is there anybody that has a question for our wealth strategist, Mr. Ron Austin? No questions? There are no silly questions. Unmute. You have time. Mr. Austin, I have a question. I'm going to answer a question while we wait for these folks to find their voice. I understand that in order to do this, you have to have a membership. I understand that there are 2 membership packages. I also understand that sometimes, depending on when folks are coming in, there are discounts that are available. See, they don't understand because they heard us talk about gold and silver, and they probably won't take the time to go and research it. We also have a healthcare plan. We also get travel benefits, and we get discounts just as any other Sam's, Amazon. You pay your memberships to be able to look at TV and to go shopping, but you won't get a membership to understand how you can grow with gold and silver. Many of you don't have a portfolio, haven't even begun to start thinking about a portfolio. Many of you are not even homeowners. And so you're going to your job, saving your money in a bank, trying to go buy a house and wondering why it's taking a while. It's time to get educated on another level. Guys, Mr. Ron Austin and his Sound Wealth Nation team, they helped me bring 3 folks in on discount. Why? Because they wanted to prove that they're committed. They're committed to making sure you guys get this knowledge. I'm so excited. I don't know why it took me so long. And I have a testimony that I want to give since we're so shy out there. See, when I have the music on the platform, I have the foul talking going on, everybody's chiming in and got something to say. But see, when it's straight up knowledge right between the eyes and it's uncomfortable, nobody has anything to say. Well, I want you to know something. Over 12 years ago, as you heard me say, I was in real estate over 20 years ago. So I knew better. But the politics, the elections was going on. And there was a very polarizing figure, Mr. Rush Limbaugh. God bless his soul and rest in peace. Because he was so radical and such a polarizing figure, I couldn't hear the message. But he was telling his people on his radio show to put their money into gold and silver. That was over 12 years ago. Had I listened, I'd already have the ribbon cuts for the trauma center.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be sitting up fighting with the mayor and elected officials to help our people. Would have already named a fund in honor of my dear mother and Queen Regina Fleming. See, there are things, there are dreams that I will realize because God has been sending me the word all along. He's been sending it to you too. But are you faithful? Are you committed to keeping it 100? Guys, I don't know what it's about, but it's something going on when Black and brown communities always last to know, always last to act. And there's a fact that if a $400 expense hit you today, you wouldn't be able to do anything about it, many of you. And the fact that you would stay comfortable. If I have any questions regarding wealth building, please ask. You want to know what the Healthy DCME Leadership Coalition is up to? We're up to putting these types of coins and knowledge into our children's hands. We're up to orchestrating trips to the New York Stock Exchange so our children won't end up like many of us, not knowing. 50 years in the game and being stubborn. Guys, I'm so excited to have Mr. Ron Austin take the time. I tell you, I hear from Mr. Shelbrack that this is great information. I challenge all of you all on the call. What Mr. Austin said to me before we started this evening is that they will sponsor. They will sponsor up to 5, the first 5 off of the Palms Up show. The membership you heard me speak of, they're annually and not monthly. $199 is the smaller membership, and $499 is the larger membership. We get points, which equate to dollars, and once you become a member, you have the ability to buy $5 worth of gold. Now you tell me out there you can't afford $5 worth of gold. But if you're not a member, you're not going to be able to do that. Our Sound Money wallet, there's so much to us. Our Sound Money wallet allows me to transfer gold to money and put it on a debit card and keep it pushing. It's teaching me tax strategy. Guys, it allows me to store my gold in my house or in my vault. How many of you out there got gold that you got to store in a vault? I need you guys to understand it's time for you to do something different. May is Mental Health Awareness. And as the Palms Up Show promised you, we're going to always bring you content to challenge the status quo. Because we're not just talking. I didn't run for office just to be able to be a thing. I did it to change perspectives because over 300,000 of our citizens are not engaged. Let's be real, guys. It's our communities that are falling apart. So the Palms Up Show, the Healthy DCME Leadership Coalition are going to continue to network. We're going to continue to build relationships so that we can break this little crab barrel that we have in our area, because there are far too many of us that need out. You don't have to take it from me. Get educated. Homes up. Ask questions. The first 5 off of the Palms Up show get 50% off their membership. The first 5. Don't be the 6 or 7 calling me talking about and giving me excuses talking about why. What I'm saying to you is that I get a coin to my door every month. What I'm saying to you is I'm so excited because we're going into the school. See, we got to start this thing over, and we're not just talking about it, we're being about it. And we know when we send these gold and silver coins home with our children, they're going to educate their parents, because that's what it's going to take. HealthyDCandme.org. Click the wealth building link. Send us your questions. And before we get out of here, I want to take a minute and shout out all our Sound Wealth Nation vets out there, all of our folks that have come on the call to support our dear mentor and leader, Mr. Austin. I cannot thank you enough for doing this. We've been having technical problems in our building with our satellite, and I done prayed and everything else. So God answers prayers for sure. I thank you, and I would ask you if you would leave our discouraged. You know how it is when you hit them between the eyes. Would you leave them with a closing statement, and then we're going to round out the Palms Up show this week.
My closing statement is go get your life. People.
Hey.
Go get your life. That's my closing statement.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Palms up, everybody. You heard it from our mentor, Mr. Ron Austin. Go get your life. Don't talk about it, be about it. It's your girl. Palms up. You know how I get when I'm trying to get this knowledge into you. Want to hear from you. Let's go. Palms up. Thank you, Mr. Austin. God bless everyone on the platform. Thanks for your support. Palms up.